Hello everybody and welcome back to Wake Forest football here on NCAA College Football 14 on the Xbox 360. My name is James for JT Plays and we have reached the halfway point in 2020 for the Demon Deacons. They sit 4-2 heading into week 8 before they host the Florida Gators. The first time these teams have ever met in the Dynasty. For the Florida Gators, they are 2-5. For the Demon Deacons, they are 4-2. But the Gators do have, on paper, standalone better ratings in overall offense, defense. However, the Deacons control everything else, it seems like. Points per game, they are 4th in the country with 40.7. 9th in the country at total offense, 2nd in the country in pass offense, 78th in rush defense, and 73rd in turnover difference. A Wake Forest team that doesn't force any turnovers, it seems like in the first half of the year, they have forced a +1 in turnover for their side. For the Gators, they averaged 32.5 points. 410 on total offense, 198 on rush offense. They are better than the Deacons. 212 in pass offense, 486 in total defense. Wake Forest, worst in pass defense, and, next to worst, and worst in total defense. The only thing keeping them at bay is the rush defense. For Florida, 194 on that. Pass defense for Florida, 291. Turnover difference for the Gators at -2. Smith and Dixon for the visiting prospects in this game. Smith from Henderson, Texas. Dixon from Druid Hills, Georgia. One guy, not really high on the list, but in reaching distance. Another guy, probably not going to make the cut next year. So, Wake Forest, how have they been doing? Well, we're on a win streak of 2. We, all cumulative Dynasty total, this year anyway, we're 3-0 in regional TV. We're 1-2 in national TV. We're sitting about 31.5 thousand people. Dynasty cumulative, we're 8-7 in bowl games, 2 conference championships, last one in 2006. All-time record, 475, 661, and 33. For the Gators, all-time record, 749, 419, and 40. 23 and 24 in the bowl record, again out of the SEC. Conference champions, 10, last one in 2018. National champions, 3, last one in 2008. They're on a losing streak of 4. They started the season 2-1. Their left tackle is injured for the season. No regional TV record, all national, and they sit at the Swamp, 88,500 people a game. For Wake Forest, their schedule, we beat Tulane, we beat Georgia Tech, we got our butts whooped by Va-Tech, we lost a heartbreaker against Florida State, we beat Kansas State, and then the greatest game probably this season and the past couple of seasons, Duke, 71-63 in triple overtime. For the Gators, UNC, they won 49-28. Arkansas, they lost. Mississippi, 49-28. Ole Miss, they are a good team. They just got spanked that game. Ironically, 2 wins, 49 points for the Gators. Everything else, you see 235s, 28, and then really no offense at all. Tennessee, they lost 17-20. Kentucky, they got whooped 43-16. LSU, number 5 in the country at that point, they lost to them by 4. And then Vanderbilt, 59 points put up by the Commodores in a loss to them. So we caught the Gators on a good part of the season. They cannot find any kind of way to win a game. They have us, they have Georgia, they have South Carolina, Missouri, Florida State. Not a good schedule for them. For the Deacons, we have Florida, Boston College, Clemson, Syracuse, Louisville, and North Carolina State. So we're 2 wins away from another bowl game. And let's see what's been going on in this season's stats for the Demon Deacons. Johnny Andrews, 4 out of 6 so far when he's had to come in for Richie Miles. 1 touchdown, 65 yards, no interceptions. For Richie Miles, 2,066 yards so far, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He is 183 for 238. QB rating for our starter from Elon College, North Carolina, my apologies, 162.8. Yards per game, Richie Miles, 344, 76 completion percentage. Rushing department, Jason Brooks, the lead back from Parker, South Carolina, redshirted sophomore, 149 attempts, 604 yards, 8 touchdowns. Longest carry was 33 yards. Michael Parks, his longest has been 33 as well. 1 touchdown, 72 yards off of 8 attempts. Richie Miles, he is a scrambler as well. 105 attempts, 54 yards, 7 touchdowns. So there's a backfield for the Wake Forest team of Deacons. Knows how to run the ball when they want to. For Jason Brooks, it's a 100-yard per game average so far. Michael Parks, 12. Richie Miles, 9. Receiving, Jason Brooks, 40 catches, leads the way with 375 yards and 2 touchdowns. But this team has always had trouble finding receivers for touchdowns, not this year. Isaac Charles, 3 touchdowns, 35 catches, 500 yards. Ryan Caldwell, 30 catches, 370, no touchdowns yet. His time, I'm sure, will come. J.D. Horton, the tight end, 29 catches, 3 touchdowns, 282. Travis Jones, 23 catches, 1 touchdown on 280. Jason Bean, 14 on 167 for a touchdown. Gary Rogers, 6 catches, 3 touchdowns, 87 yards. I believe, if not all of them, came last week against Duke, if not 2 of them. Wesley Lucas, 3 catches, 1 touchdown. Michael Parks, 3 catches. Robert Ferwerda, our bench receiver, if an injury happens during the game, 2 catches, 19 yards. Blocking so far, who's been the good blocker? How about Clay Holden pancakes? 10 pancakes, but then we go to sacks, and it's a guy named Will Williams. 17 sacks is giving up. Will Williams needs to get his stuff together. Everybody else, nowhere close. 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, and 3 ones. 17 sacks given up by the right tackle. And he's a run blocker. So, I don't know. You run the ball his way, he's fine. Other than that, you're pretty much screwed. Will Williams, 3 pancake blocks. Maurice Brown, 2. J.R. Williams, 5. Corey Johnson with 7. Wesley Lucas with 3. Good to see him. Matt Kendrick, our center, has 2. J.D. Horton has 9. Our tight ends are good downfield blockers. Mickey Carter with 2. Jeremy Jones with 2. That's about it. Defense, who has the most tackles, sacks, all that good stuff. How about Aaron Neely, the free safety? The one of the leaders, I'm not going to say the leader, one of the leaders from Orem, Utah, sophomore. He has 44 tackles. Then Trevor Williams with 41. Ivan Brown, with 39. Todd Mullins, 37. Brandon Black, 36. Ricky Coles, 32. Keon Simmons, 29. Cole Griffith, 27. Mark Cook, 25. Brian Mills, 20. All solo tackles, Aaron Neely, 40-44. Ivan Brown, 38 of 39. Williams, 38 of 41. Todd Mullins, everything has been solo. He has had to work all season long. Brandon Black, same with him. Ricky Coles, 1 assisted. Keon Simmons, 3 assisted, and so on and so forth. Sack leaders, Brandon Thomas, the left end, 7 sacks this year. Ricky Coles with 4. Mark Cook with 3. Brian Mills, with 2. Aaron Neely, Ivan Brown, Ralph Smith, Gabe Williams, Eric Long, Keon Simmons, Trevor Williams, all with 1. Kicking and punting now. You might not think of it as an important stat, but it definitely is. Joe Carr, 8 of 8 so far from field goal range. Longest was 42 yards, 28 on the extra points as well. He's made 4 attempts from 17 to 29. He's made 2 from 30 to 39 and 2 from 30. 2 from 30 to 39, 4 from 17 to 29, and 2 from 40 to 49. And he's made every single one of them. Punting, Ted Thompson, 37 attempts, over 1,400 yards so far on the season. netting about 1150, 38 yards per punt. Not at all great, but he's doing the job well. Wade Hampton, South Carolina, you should be proud for producing him. He's also a freshman, so his leg will come to him. Total yards, minus the return yards average, 31. No blocks, 11 down inside the 20. 2 touchbacks, his longest punt, 67 yards. Kick return. Ryan Caldwell's our main guy with Ivan Brown in the end zones usually. 15 returns for Caldwell, no touchdowns, 335 yards. Averages about 22 yards a return. Ivan Brown, 24 yards a return on 289. Punt return. Ivan Brown, 19 returns for 200 yards and about an 11-yard average. Ryan Caldwell has fielded 2. Jason Bain has fielded 1 back there. So let's see some season leaders on everything. So passing leaders, McQueen for Tulane leads the way with 2,116 yards. Richie Miles has found himself second, though, in the country with 2,066. Bowling Green, Southern Methodist, and Northwestern are 3 through 5. Rushing leaders, Weber for Michigan, 829. James for Mississippi State. Ball State, Northwestern, and Utah State are all up there in the top 5. Jason Brooks for Wake Forest, 19th, with 604. So Northwestern has a great rusher and a great passer. So watch out for them maybe in bowl season. Receiving leaders, Vanderbilt, Davis, 823. Colorado, Cal, Boston College, Tulane are the rest of the top 5. Isaac Charles leads the way for the Deacons at 506. He's 37th best. Tackle leaders, it's all Wake Forest with Aaron Neely, Ivan Brown, Tom Mullins, Brandon Black, and Williams. 40, 38, 38, 37, 36. Sack leaders, Brandon Thomas was 7 on the year. He is behind Florida State's Ford and Akron's Lee, 8.5 and 7. He's actually tied with Akron. Behind him, Duke and Ohio, Barnes and Dahl. Interception leaders, Georgia with the SEC, 6 interceptions. San Diego State's Christian with 6 interceptions. North Texas is Davis with 6 as well. Northern Illinois, Western Kentucky with 5 and 4. Tom Mullins, 69th in the country. That's for Wake Forest at 2. Kicking leaders, who's got the most powerful leg? How about Colorado? Dowdell. My apologies. 55 yards on Carrington for 53 for North Texas. Navy's Benjamin, 52. Florida State, Idaho at 51 each. Joe Carr, 42 yards, 76th best in the country. So now finally we'll take a look at our top 25 here, and then that will close things out here. Oklahoma Sooners, you are number 1 at 5 and 0. Iowa is second, 4 and 1. Navy third. Georgia, LSU round out the top 5. Vodtech, Ohio State, Bowling Green, San Diego State, Arizona are your top 10. Northwestern, great passer, great rusher. They deserve to be up there. 11th, Florida State, Alabama at 13th at 4 and 2. Georgia Tech, Missouri, Wisconsin, Miami, Texas A&M, Buffalo. The Bulls of Buffalo are up there, undefeated. Their schedule, though, they haven't played anyone, so they won't get that much consideration inside the top 10. They are 19th. Notre Dame rounds out your top 20. Illinois, Virginia, Minnesota, USC, and Connecticut round out your top 25 of the receiving votes. Fresno State, Air Force, Texas, Arkansas State, Arkansas, Auburn, and Tennessee are 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32. Arkansas, Fresno State dropped out. Arkansas was 18th. Fresno State was 19th. So that's the standings. That's the stats. That is what Wake Forest has to look forward to. First half of the season and also second half. Next week, it'll be from BB&T Field in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where we take on the SEC's Florida Gators, who are 2 and 5. Wake Forest wins. They are 5 and 2 on the year, and they move one step closer to another consecutive year with a bowl game. We'll see you there.